So we can just, maybe we'll just leave the top going. And we'll just give additional storage for these. Don't need this. This probably isn't the best way to handle this, but we could just keep an array going. This allows us to make even more of these. I mean, sure, let me just keep 100 out in our own non-logic circuit box. I just don't want them all to get processed into fuel and then, like, by the logic in the system messing up. I think it's good, but if the logic goes haywire and then it processes it all into fuel, we have to start the process over again, and we always need that extra, 40 to kickstart it. So we'll keep those in there just for that. Put a substation down here. Oh, that doesn't have power because we picked it up. Let's actually move them up then. Something more like that. And that one's not necessary anymore. Oh, it is nighttime. Let's look at the research glow. Nice. Happy New Year. Satisfaction's actually kind of low. Maybe because we got the refineries working at a more efficient pace. Some of these are not pulling. But it looks like we're running low on running low on steam, so we're probably about to see the reactors kick over and get some fuel. Let's watch for that. If we'll be able to see it. What was it? What did we determine that it was like? Yeah, under 1,000. Are these in the logic system? Steam turbines. Yeah, we have 49 of them. So it could also be that the steam's not making its way down here from the reserves, depending. Those are going, but these are using before it can get to those, right? Don't know what to trust. Use pumps in between the tanks and turbines. Oh. To push steam into the turbines. Gotcha. So it doesn't push itself as well as like the water does? Interesting. Do you think I need more than one? Like, do you think if I put like all of the tanks onto one pipe and then use one pump to push, or do you think I should use a pump per tank? So we can definitely get some pumps out here. In fact, we may be making them somewhere. Let's see. The water is pumped, water pump. Oh yeah, good point. Didn't even really think about that. I'm like, yeah, this is where the water comes from. But the steam isn't really pumped, it's just sitting there. So there's no, it's only relying on the pressure of the production. That makes sense. Take the beacons out of our requester here. Let's request some pumps because I believe that we have them all request, like making pumps. We can double check that too. Yeah, I saw them. Yeah. So we brought those. Gotcha. So we'll kind of redo this up here then. Which will cut the power while we do this, but. One pump. So we have three places at the bottom. So that seems like that would make sense, right? And then maybe each one of these can provide enough for two. We can kind of try that. Like let's say they're a little close though. Let's move these down. Actually, we just move them anywhere. Pump does 1200 per second worth of fluid. 2 to 3 should be fine. A little math if you want exact ratio. Turbine consumes an amount. Let's see. 60 per second. So if a pump is outputting 12,000 per second, then it would take like 50 of these, right? $200. My math was completely off. And that would be if it was one pipeline's also limited. That's true. So let's just let's start some columns based off of these. I don't mind it, a little overkill on the pumps. Pop a couple substations in here. That one already had one, but there we go. And let's say, okay, let's say with these turbines, let's do something like, maybe that comes straight down. 20 to 30 per line should be more than doable. Like 20 to 30 turbines, which I think we'll probably just start with like a nuclear plant that's all circuited. Gotcha. I think I'm going to start with like just 3 and then we'll expand it down further as we need. Let's see, here's what I'm thinking. We go start with that. The same over here. There's that. Oops. That one too there. And then let's get the these guys in here. Okay, nice. See, that's got to be more than enough for right now. Oh, maybe not. But it is pumping out much faster, so yeah, there they go. They're getting loaded up. Okay, so we can add more then. Let's do another row of these. Kind of want to get an idea of what we need right now, and then that'll help me do the math for scaling up later. And we can bring that down as far as we need to. We have all this room in here. Don't need all these pumps, but I would like to be brought some turbines. Something tells me we'll probably need another. In fact, for this, I'll go ahead and double this. Not the pipes. That'll pull down the stations as well, and I may need to bump them up just a little bit. Yep, 2 spaces. But that still touches the turbines. And these are filling back up. That's good. All right, robots, what's up with this? Are they still being constructed? Oh, there they come. Took them a minute. All right, let's get some in line. There's one. There we go. There's a few. There's the rest. How do we look? Oh, double. Double what we need. Very good. Now, does this waste is the other question. Or does it only use enough steam to provide what's needed? If it wastes, we may want to switch them off. Steam doesn't go wasted. Very good, very good. So this overproduction is probably from other stuff then. Right? Or is that just potential? We have this over here, providing power still. This isn't going to make fuel until who knows when. It's got like 29 all backed up in the system still anyway. All good, all good. Production is your bar at 100%. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So the satisfaction is exactly what we need. 50-ish percent. Excellent. Let's put some more concrete in this corner, because this always bugs me when I run down through here and have to cut the corner. What do we want to do next? So right now, let's go down and look at our purple science. It's a little low. I was gonna say let's go down and look at our bus and see what we can improve saturation on. So green circuits are still kind of choked, like they're being produced here. But then by the time we get down to even just right here, I believe that it's because what we need to do is pull off with a splitter here. Same here. splitting a lane into two. Yeah, I think we did that very, very early. And that was kind of choking it. And then we have 2 into 4, which is also kind of choking it. But that's going to catch up. Well, maybe not. This is what's being used by red circuit production. And this one we're just pulling a whole line off. And there's several places where we pulled just a whole line off, which that's if we just needed quite a bit. I'd like to see red circuits increased even more, but we kind of ran out of real estate over here. We'd have to kind of put in another column right here for them. What do you say? Sorry. Do you have blue chips being made yet? Oh, you do. Yeah, way down here. And they're being pulled down. Like all the green and red are being pulled off for that over here. And they're going at a good enough pace. Like it could be expanded, definitely. But for what we needed, well, until we were making level 2 and level 3 of the efficiency modules, they weren't really being used very much, but now they're being used up. However, the efficiency modules are about to stack up. We're only asking for so many. They love green chips like candy, yeah. Just gobbling them. Just grabbing whole stacks every single time they grab any. Yeah, 20. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. They're holding 50 at any given time. The assembly machines are. Okay, yeah, let's look at maybe adding in another column of red circuit production right in here in this area. This is a little tricky. I may double up on roboports closer to the bus right here, and then maybe back here just to get rid of this one to make some room. I stick one here. If I take this one out, what kind of a gap do we have? Not terrible, but let's put one down here. Honestly, that location doesn't really matter that much. And then we'll kind of come out here. Interesting. I don't want a gap. We're gonna end up with something in the middle anyway. Oh, I guess we have these in the middle here. So let me kind of copy this as we have it here. Maybe from like here over. And there's some things I need to take out. Like I don't need it pulling off and going under here. So we'll have to remember to clean that up. Let's take it from this corner here. I'm just gonna copy the whole thing. Okay. Now if we were to squeeze that in here, what would we need to do? We'd need to clear out some of these trees. We'd have to clear out these power lines. And then it'll have its own roboports nestled in there. Ah, that doesn't work. That was providing power. Here, you can have one of those. You don't have roboports right now, okay. Just gonna be the ones for my pocket for right now. We're in the green. Bomb a little bit till they get here. Cliff. I still love taking out cliffs. So much fun. I don't know who got assigned to these trees, but they're late. Okay, so if we paste, we'll bring it in some. And let's give space at the top, because that's all really tight pipework up there. So that should be it. That should be good. We'll need to get the right stuff to the right place. Also, we did mention taking out this. I think that was it. I don't think we had anything else running through. Maybe this. Okay, let's take a look up top. We've got to get it copper to the inside edges of these. That'll be the first step. And that's where this is going to come in. So we can bring in, well, we have a copper line right here running to this mall, but no, we're going to alternately grab, I'm going to grab off a little earlier and then put a splitter below it, because that's then going to provide to that mall, and this mall doesn't have a very like time sensitive production schedule, if that makes sense. Like, I don't need the stuff that it makes to be made all the time very quickly. So there's our copper. Did we pull in 2 lines of copper, or was just 1 good enough? We pulled in 2 lines of copper. We could. Wow, okay. We're gonna need another balancer below this. Okay, let's say. I'm going to want this line. No. Man, I almost want it to like come off below another balancer. So we're pulling the top one off already. Then this one's already split. This is solid. This is coming off. Okay, let's say this comes off like that and this goes straight. So now this is solid. What is this for? Batteries, and they're good. They're good to get half of a line and not a whole line. So now this can come off like this. Wow. We just have to keep in mind the ratios of stuff that we're borrowing from. Come forward just a little bit more. There we go. So we have our 2 copper lines. Honestly, though, it's only one side. Now that I look at it, we didn't really have to do that. So we could rely on this one. Let's take this back. Feed it down. I still want another balancer. Yeah, I want another balancer right here. That'll probably fit right there. So this line right here can split after all because we're only using half. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm getting half, if that makes sense. Like, do it that way. Like, I want to make sure I'm getting half without it having to do that whole thing where like one side backs up. Okay. Next up, we need plastic. Oh, and we're probably gonna have to increase plastic production. Plastic and green. We pull the green in after the balancer. Bring green in on the top. Okay, that works. Looks a little silly, but that works. And then plastic. Plastic. I have a little trouble here with this robo port in the way. We could bring it in a little low and then zigzag it up. Do that. Yeah, we'll do the zigzag right there. White science. But white science has to do with like going to space and coming back, right? So we won't mess with that just yet. But we'll have it researched for when the time comes. Okay, we want this to come across here, like that. All right. We'll see how that manages to do. I don't think that one before it is going to help very much. It's just going to cause this one to also go down. We may have to increase plastic production to keep up with this, but that just makes sense. White science helps with some non-infinite techs also. That's true. We will have to eventually get to that. Okay, let's get red added in here. We had it coming down before. Let's not do that and instead bring it in here. It's going to be a little tricky too. Maybe we do go up here, spaghetti this down. Then you go in, out, down, and combine. Very nice. I mean, it's not going to stay that good. Do the same thing here that we've been doing, where we reduce the amount being taken off the belt.